Alright everybody, this is G.B.III, as you already know. I'm with Legends in the Making, L.I.T.M TV. You know that we got from rookies to legends as well, but I wanted to try a new lane with my Legends in the Making. So, got a guest today. It's gonna be somebody that's representing the D, somebody representing Michigan, and who's strong on his movement. So we have Mark Price, and he is the head of Price Boy Entertainment. So that's what we got in the building today. And we're going to talk about a few things, some questions that deal with, you know, the career, the path. Give y'all some advice as well if y'all looking to go down the same journey, but, you know, we'll get there. So how's it going, Mark?
What up, Doug? Everything's good.
All right. So pretty much just right now, let everybody know exactly, you know, who you are and exactly what part of Detroit you came from. I know a lot of people, you know, they got certain parts, whether you're from Southwest, the East Side, so kind of let everybody know.
Well, Mark Price, you know, CEO of Price Boy Entertainment. I grew up, I'm from Detroit, West Side Detroit, but also spent some time, you know, at a younger age. I went to Highland Park School, you know, to the elementary all the way to middle school. So I spent a lot of time in Highland Park. So you know, that's, you know, I have roots out there in Highland Park. Also, that's actually where I started learning, you know, this music thing as far as rap, you know, in Highland Park.
Okay, HP. That was a big competitor in school when I went to Inkster. So there's a big competitor. Even if they lost or won, them boys ready to fight.
Yeah.
But
oh, most definitely.
That's what I like. That's what I like about HP. They tough, right?
Oh,
regardless of where you from, they don't care. They tough. So basically, we're gonna just start off like the question I like to ask everybody when it comes to just whatever they're doing is why. So for you, it's like why? Like why the music industry? Like what made you?
Well, what made me get into the music industry actually is because of my older brother. Mo, he was actually doing music with some guys from HP because we both went to HP school system.
Okay.
So they was doing, you know, talent shows and everything. They had a rap group, and I used to be trying to get into it, you know, like, hey, let me on stage, I can do this, and let me dance, you know, this and that. And they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna let you do this and that. But, you know, I had to work my way up into it. But also my brother, like I say, he just always been into music, you know, hip hop, that rap scene. So I would say my brother, my cousin Boo, and, you know, childhood friend Kev, you know, rest in peace. But yeah, you know, them guys, they, you know, they got me into hip hop. I never knew anything really about, you know, rap music until, you know, I'm hearing them play Run DMC, LL Cool J, the Fat Boys. They bringing the records home, the actual records home. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I was inspired and, you know, interested in like, oh, what's going on with this?
All right. Okay. I don't know. See, records. My pops had a few records, but I remember they used to have this. Would you mail in? You pay like $10. They send like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So every time my pops got something, that's how I started to see down the line. But it was Crisscross was my first little.
Okay.
The cassette tape. And then I ended up hearing, I should have been hearing it, but I ended up hearing Too Short. So everybody know Too Short. So I ended up hearing Too Short. So that's what's up. So the records, and that's what I think, that's what I like to tell people, like, that's what we're going to be called, like, forbidden knowledge or the lost knowledge, stuff like that with records. Which I know DJs still keep them alive, but that's something I feel like anybody that's into music, you should always go back and listen to vinyl.
Exactly.
Because I feel like you get the best sound from vinyl.
Yeah.
So yeah. So as far as like with music, what did you find to be like unique about music that keeps you going?
You know, the style. You know, the style of the artist. You know, the way they dress. You know, the way they present themselves. You know, the lyrics. You know, they was saying things that, you know, the other artists on the radio station wasn't saying. Say for instance, like, you know, Michael Jackson, you know, he wasn't talking about the certain things that was going on in the hood, you know, so that was, you know what I'm saying, that was a real connection. Like, whoa, they speaking, you know, and living, you know what I'm saying, what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So that was a connection, a huge connection right there.
Okay. So as far as like, I know you said lyrics. Now, I'm big on lyrics. That's the thing for me. Not to say anything about now's music, but I mean, I kind of came like where like your generation had like it was raw, rugged. It was more like I'ma say this, no matter what. You know, they're willing like in the way they're willing to take a letter from the FBI
For sure.
and run with it. Whereas now it's more so, oh, I'm gonna say I do this, but then it's just more so, okay, you could be lyrical with it, but when you speak it, it's more so, okay, is this guy really real? Until it hits the fan. So
right.
I definitely like the old generation keeping it real, whereas now it's kind of like, maybe you should stick to your. I mean, it sells records, but I feel like to be genuine, I feel like that's kind of coming back in because I hear a lot of different artists right now that are doing that, like sticking to, you know, for instance, I mean, look at Big Sean. I like how he sticks to his guns and he not changing himself.
Right, he's staying his lane.
Yeah.
You know, he's himself. You know?
Yeah. So as far as the Detroit scene, like, what's different about it now than it was when you were first coming up? Like,
yeah, as far as the Detroit scene was different,
as far as like the music, like, was it easier back then to move, or is it easier now?
It's a lot easier now. You know, with the internet, social media, it's like that's a gold mine for, you know, for artists, you know, worldwide. Back in the day, you know, it was like it was so hard because everybody gives, you know, Detroit such a hard time, you know, and also, you know, back then a lot of Detroit artists didn't have their business together. You know, they didn't know what direction to go, you know, and that's, you know, because the knowledge wasn't there, you know, and, you know, or the knowledge wasn't being shared. So, you know, now, you know, a lot of Detroit artists is just like, they got their business together. They, you know, they own their business. They own you know, they on their grind. So, yeah, it's a lot easier now. You know, people are, you know, a lot more, you know, educated on the business, you know, and social media and just the internet helps out a lot, you know, where it's like you don't need to go to a major label.
Yeah.
You can make it, you know what I'm saying, right out your bedroom, out your basement, you know.
Yeah.
Back then, you need to get with an A&R, get with a label and all this and that. And a lot of times, the major industry, they wasn't looking for Detroit artists, you know. They was getting a couple here and there, this and that. But, you know, Detroit wasn't, you know, they wasn't looking at Detroit.
Yeah. And see, I feel like now, I mean, even with the artists now, some of them where they'll take something. I feel like back then, even with the artists that first off, back then, I feel like just from the stories that my relatives would tell me, I feel like industry was scared of Detroit.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Big time.
We
it was like
raw, you know, and they didn't, you know, they didn't want to, you know, come down here and mess with us because they like, yo, we go down there like, you know, we put this money into them and, you know, such and such, they end up probably gonna catch a murder charge or, you know what I'm saying, they gonna catch a drug case, you know, so, you know, those type of things, you know, or, you know, or they gonna have a show and they gonna tear the club up, you know, so, you know, those type of things, yeah, so, I mean, it's, you know, I would say we still got that reputation to this day, you know what I'm saying, but it's kind of simmering out, but still at the same time, you know, just like with Detroit versus everybody, you know, like, we letting it be known, like, yo.
And I mean, and that comes to like individuals like Trick, where he puts that, you're not gonna disrespect the city. If you do, then you already know it's consequences and repercussions. So a lot of times, and a lot of artists know, I mean, I'm not gonna name drop, but there's a lot of artists that I know of for sure that has seen the consequences
Oh,
of
yeah.
what happens when you disrespect. But
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of artists that show love to Detroit, and that's where it comes to more so as far as the industry. Like, who would you say inspired you, or still inspires you to this day?
What I would say what inspired me was, artists like, of course, from my first introduction of hip hop was Run DMC,
Okay.
Fat Boys, but Big Daddy Kane,
Okay.
LL, those type of, what I'm saying, like, far as like today, it's man,
Very, it's light list. Yeah. Okay.
I ain't gonna say a light list. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of artists that inspire me because surprisingly, like, how you get people that they like, well, they only like this type of music. Me, I'm a very well-rounded, person. Like, I listen to everything. I listen to people from my hometown, you know what I'm saying, throughout the Midwest, down south, East Coast, you know what I'm saying, West Coast, you know what I'm saying. Like, I listen to everything, and that's the way I always been, from day one.
Yeah.
I listen to everything. I'm just not stuck in one lane, like, oh, I just gotta listen to this and that. Like, no. And I think that's also what helps me out with my lyrics, you know what I'm saying, my wordplay, and just, you know what I'm saying, my creativity.
Okay. See, I listen to it. So, of course, you get a lot of people not a lot of people laugh when I tell them, but when like dude 6ix9ine first came out, I told him I got that vibe of that Lil Jon rough music when he was just like, even though he went through his whole whatever he did, that's his business.
Right.
Music is music, but it was just like when I heard it, I'm like, why does this make me just want to like be at a club and bouncing over everybody? And
right. I mean,
it's like a party starter. And that dude went 10 top 10s on the Billboard. Like, you had 10 number 1 hits on the Billboard consecutively. So that shows you, regardless of what like I tell people, music now to me is just all about making music.
Right.
If you can sell a record, then the label will say, hey. And I feel like labels want to give that money. If somebody can go viral without them, then they're like, well, we need him. He don't need us.
That's exactly what's going on.
So, with that being said, like, who would you say be your top 10 in hip hop? It could be living or deceased. Unfortunately, we don't like us to have deceased, but they still were good.
I would say the Locks, Nas, AZ, Elzhi from Detroit, PZ Payroll, let's see, Big L. How many is that?
I think I'm at like 6 right now.
6. Definitely Big Daddy Kane. Who else? Like I said, I'm so well. Snoop Dogg. Okay. I'm so well rounded. It's like, like I could. And it's crazy that I was just having this conversation a couple of days ago with F.A. Trill, and he was asking me like, he asked me who is your top 10. I was telling him like, man, like that's hard because I listen to so many people and I'm inspired by so many artists. And he said, well, what about if you was taking a road trip and you had 3 artists that that you would listen to? I said, actually, that's kind of hard also because it depends on what my vibe is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, one day I could be on, you know what I'm saying, one minute I could be on this and I'd be on that. And I research so many different artists, and I'm always trying to find new music because that's me. You know what I'm saying? I love, you know what I'm saying, this hip hop culture. So, I'm always trying to find new artists and bump their shit.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And then, with that, it's like, so what do you think is the current state of the hip hop culture? Do you think we're in a good place right now? Or do you think it could be better, or do you think it's rolling? Like, what do you think is?
I mean, of course, me, I'm from the era as far as lyrics, so we're getting back to that. Oh, I gotta say, you know what I'm saying? You asked about the top 10. I can't forget about Conway the Machine, and Benny the Butcher.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, I can't forget about those. But the current state of hip hop, I mean, it's a big business right now. I mean, it's global. You know what I'm saying? Everything, you know, you see on TV, movies, radio, whatever, is influenced by hip hop. So, with that being said, I would say it's in a good state far as, you know, making money. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we don't have to go to the major labels to make $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can make it from our home, from our crib now. So I think with that being said, that's good, you know, but I do wish that, you know, the younger generation and the older generation would connect more. Far as, you know, just like with the, you know, the older generation, like, you know, putting the younger generation
Yeah.
up on different things as far as business, you know, like,
Yeah.
and just, you know, knowing certain things, you know, and I think, you know, on the younger generation side, they should be, you know, willing to accept that
Yeah.
that knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that those jewels coming from the older guys, you know.
And now that you say that, it's like people, you know, we have the different documentaries where you could watch, like, or even when, like, for instance, what sparked in my head was TLC. When they talked about how that deal was that they had, and
Right.
what was it with was it L.A. Reid's
Yeah.
wife?
Yeah.
And yep, when it broke down, they broke it down and they got pretty much end up owing the label. So it's just stuff like that where I feel like maybe people in hip hop who've been in that position and doing better should come up with like maybe a committee to help those that, because I mean this is the new generation. So it's a lot of people still getting screwed over in deals. Like if especially you look at somebody who, if I come from an area where, oh, I'm living with my grandmother, that's all I have left, that's who raised me, I want to take care of her. This is, y'all offering me this. Of course somebody will look at $150,000, it's like, I don't have $10 in my account.
Right.
I'm going to take that. And then yeah. So that's how they get them, unless they were smart on their, you know, situation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hip hop, I mean, I feel like you said, financially is doing pretty good. Just more of the, you know, old, like the new and the old kind of come together.
Yeah.
Which you kind of see that in some of the music where you have some of the old heads hopping on some, and I like that.
I'm starting to see it more, you know, since, you know, recently, you know, more than in the past couple of years, you know, and just also, you know, just artists, you know, just learning about the history, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like I seen where artists diss legends, and it's like, for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm better than this person. It's like, come on now, man. Like, I mean, I know hip hop has always been, oh, I'm the best, this is that, but it's like, you know, like certain artists, I don't think they should be disrespected.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that, you know, the younger generation, they need to do their research about, you know what I'm saying, about this hip hop culture overall, not just with lyrics, but with the, you know, the dance, you know, the spray paint, you know, the tagging, all that, you know, just get educated on it, you know what I'm saying? Know who is who, you know, and just not be in your own circle, your own world, like, oh, it's all about me, because it's not all about you. It's about us pushing this culture, you know what I'm saying, further. You know, when I got into it, it was like, oh, it was just like a taboo, it was a fad, like, oh, well, it's going to be played out, this is that, and it's like, look, you know what I'm saying, these several years later, it's still bumping, it's still popping, and it's going to continue, you know, and, you know, anybody that's involved in this industry, this hip-hop culture, they need to take the, you know, initiative and take the part and say, okay, well, I'm going to continue to help pushing this forward, you know, in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, and that comes to, I feel like everything in general goes around, comes right back around again. Because when I see, it's like, for instance, when you mentioned Benny the Butcher and Conway, was that Dave East? I can't forget about Dave East. To me, it's like Dave East. You got people like Jordan Lucas and J. Cole.
Yeah.
And I feel like they will be considered within this generation, so they still upholding that lyrical side, and I feel like they're starting to be appreciated with the lyrical side. So yeah, I think it's going. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Now, I know you got Price Boy Entertainment. So, as far as Price Boy Entertainment, who are you like currently associated with your organization?
OGN, FA Trill, Keyboy Guala, and of course myself.
Okay.
Mark Price.
So, are they dropping any? So do they have any new projects? I know right now you got the new single out, the Boss Bitch single, which, as far as like, it came in the right time. So it's got like I don't know, it's got like this. I feel like somebody's gonna be doing some type of ballroom or some type of hustle to it. Yeah, I feel like that, and then I feel like it should have a challenge or something like for like because everybody do TikTok. Yeah, I only got one TikTok, and that was to be a part of a WWE contest. But I see all the different stuff. It's like one particular artist named L.I.T.M. Every time he puts out a song, he makes a challenge for it. Right. But it's certain songs that you hear, it's like, why they don't have a challenge? Right. That's the one.
Yeah.
So is that it? That's in the works right now?
Yeah, that's in the works right now. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
All right, and then. What about, so you said you have FAO Trill, you have OGN, and then Keyboy Guala. So anybody dropping anything soon between them, or?
Well, OGN just dropped something. He just dropped something recently. A single. Also.
So I actually checked out a few of his projects, and
yeah,
his voice is like raw and rugged. It's like that. Kind of give me like a Pastor Troy. That's what I was thinking of, like Pastor Troy from the like just I'm in your face type of vibe. That's what he. So I definitely like. And then Trill, he got like he's definitely like he got something there. Yeah. He definitely got something. Like I definitely want to. I've heard one of his projects, but I definitely want to hear something up and coming. But yeah, as far as Keyboy Guala, I don't know. Does he have anything out or?
Yeah, Keyboy Guala has some things out. He's gonna be dropping some. I got something in the works. You know what I'm saying? Individually for all of them. Okay. It's gonna be dropping. It's gonna be dropping soon. And I mean those guys.
This single, the Boss Bitch single, this the single to a compilation.
Actually, it was just actually I see it's how it came about was actually I've been sitting on the track for a minute. Okay. So I was sitting on the track for a minute. I got the track from Quick Tunes. Shout out to Quick Tunes, and it was supposed to be for one of my artists, Drew West.
Okay.
So actually, Drew West is also associated with Price Boy Entertainment. And Drew West, he passed up on it. He didn't, he wasn't feeling it. He couldn't come up with anything. I don't know. But I sat on it, kept asking about it. I said, well, forget it. He ain't gonna do nothing with it. I already had a vision for it. So, connected with Trill, he dropped something on it. And after that, I sat on it and listening to it. Then I got Keyboy Guala to put the chorus on. It was actually another guy that did the chorus on there that was from Quick Tunes camp, but I replaced Keyboy Guala on there. I wanted to keep everything in house much as possible.
Okay.
So he dropped on it, and then it was just a little rough draft, and then we went to the stew, and they didn't know I was actually going to drop on it. I was just told them I was just going to talk on it, whatever. So. Trill did his part over it. Keyboy, did his part, and it was my turn. So I said, I was just gonna talk on it, whatever this and that. So when I actually dropped on it, it was like actually shocked because they knew that I spit back in the day. That, but they didn't know like, oh, this guy he still can spit. You know what I'm saying?
Keep the knife sharp.
Yeah. So, and it's actually what's crazy is actual footage. F.A. Trill got footage of it. Us recording it, and just the reaction. Even the engineer, G.B.III, you know, like me doing business with him, everything as a manager and everything, and it was like they were shocked, like whoa, the whole room was shocked, like oh, I didn't think this guy was gonna, I ain't actually think this guy was gonna come off like this and really, you know, be spitting, you know. So I mean, I definitely keep, you know what I'm saying, keep the knife razor sharp. I mean, I'm I'm hip hop for life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And lyrics is my #1 thing.
So as far as the Boss Bitch single, so it's currently out, and I'll play a little bit of it, let them hear a little bit of it, and it's currently out on all streaming platforms.
Okay. Everything.
So with that song, I know you're explaining. So like, what really, to get more into depth, like what really brought up the concept for that song?
The concept, actually, I was kind of going into a different direction.
Okay.
More of a, I guess, I mean, it's a club vibe,
Okay.
no matter what, but I kind of was going into a different lane, something kind of a little more raunchy, but when the chorus was laid, then it was like, oh, and then F.A. Trill dropped on it, that's when the Boss Bitch title came, because we never had the title for it. It was just like,
so it just, the studio, the kind of the vibe kind of just changed everything.
And I said, oh, okay, because I had already had something written for it, and it was like, oh, well, hold up, they on this vibe, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I said, okay, well, I definitely can get with that, and I like the vibe of it, you know, because although it's, you know, it has an explicit title to it, Boss Bitch. As far as the meaning of Boss Bitch, I know it's songs out there, Boss Bitch, this is that, but as far as, you know, what we represent, as far as Boss Bitch is about, you know, any woman, you know, that's about their business, you know, that's on their grind, that's making it happen, you know, taking care of their kids, you know, taking care of their family. And it's just not about, you know, oh, she's a stripper at a club. It's not that. I mean, you can be a boss bitch, you know, being a realtor, being, you know, a CNA, you know, a nurse, you know, a police woman, you know what I'm saying, police officer, any damn mail carrier, anything. It's just about, you know, you handling your business by all means necessary, and you don't need to lean on no guy, you know, for support or anything like that. You about your business. Yeah, if you got your guy to lean on, you know what I'm saying, that's cool, but overall, you about your business, you know what I'm saying? Even being in school, you know what I'm saying? Like a woman going to school, she about her business, you know, and it's not about her ripping and running the streets, you know, she trying to see, you know, what's at this club, and, you know, what's going on social media, this is that, with all that drama. She about her business, you know what I'm saying?
That's what, and what I look at it is more like an expression, where, you know, I mean, how do people say, like, why do you guys gotta say nigga so much? It's an expression.
Right.
So a lot of times you see, you know, females all on social media, I'm a bad bitch.
Right.
I'm a buck. Right. And they don't say it as if they, you know, they say it like that's an expressive way of expressing themselves. So
not the,
to me, it's more so, so anybody get offended, like, just lighten up. Just lighten up. So pretty much, so that's, you know, out right now. When is the video dropping for you?
The video will be dropping real soon. Like real soon. Actually, the video is completed. It's in editing stages. 75-85% done as far as editing. So it should be dropping. Hopefully, actually, by the time this video is out, this interview, it definitely will be out. You know, you definitely will see, you know, a promo of it. You know, it's there.
I was while doing a little behind the scenes for y'all, it was like doing little shoots and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm ready to see what this is like.
Yeah.
And I will be I ain't gonna say, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna just let it see. I got a little part in there. So, you know what I'm saying? But all the energy in that whole shoot was real good. Shout out to, you know, Brandon. I don't know what he go by, but
Brandon Hughes, you know.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Full films. You know, he's good, man.
He definitely gave me some pointers too about, you know, the camera work and everything. So I definitely
that's a good brother.
You know, definitely respect him for that. And then pretty much from here, just more so, I just want to get like the final, you know, well, I'm going to play this track, but I want to get the final question for you. But I want everybody to hear it, you know, so they know what's going on here. So this is the Boss Bitch single, Price Boy Entertainment. You got Mark Price, Key Boy Guala, FAL Trill, and OGN.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey, quit! Yeah. Hey. Shawty drift from her hand to her feet. Raised in the hood, she ain't scared of the streets. Boss bitch running through it every week. Fuck with the cost bids, got it covered like a sheet. Shorty got money, cars closed, yeah, all that. Broke niggas, broke bitches, you can fall back. Shorty think too, booty clapping like a Kardashian. Yeah, boss bitch,
yeah, you know they sick. The way you switch those hips, she a boss ass bitch. Gonna get those chips, gonna take your trips. Whipping nice ass whips, shake it fast, drop it low. She a red nose pit, shawty on her shit. Baby got that grip, baby got that drip. Real wet, don't slip, make you bust real quick. Damn, she so thick, she don't want nothing but time. And dick that's it. The way you kill the game, it's a shame. They can't touch you if they lame. Try to shoot they shot and they miss. No, they ain't got aim. You so damn fine, make me wanna put you in a frame. Ass fat, I like that. Know your mama, she to blame. Gotta jump and put your pants on. That's a damn shame. Different from the rest. You can't even treat her like the same. Left the last nigga, cause she tried to play it like a game. Every time you see her on the gram, that nigga go insane. Doing what they wish they could. Got a man coming back, all off the good. Focus on the bag, I wish these dusty bitches would. Washed up your life, still good in the hood.
Shawty drift from her hand to her feet. Raised in the hood, she ain't scared of the streets. Boss bitch running through it every week. Fuck with the cost bids, got it covered like a sheet. Shorty got money, cars closed, yeah, all that. Broke niggas, broke bitches, you can fall back. Shorty thick too, booty clapping like a Kardashian. With the game, boss bitch, what you call that?
Infatuated by the way you handle your business. Make me wanna bend you over and give you the business. Light complexion, thick thighs, and that ass is vicious. Educated down to earth, and she's so ambitious. If I get hit with a murder charge, she gon' stick to the sentence. Sometimes she rockin' natural, every time she add the extension. Get at these balls so aggressive like Serena and tennis. Yeah, she got a 9 to 5, plus she own her own business. $300,000 spot with the marble finish. She gon' make it happen by any means, God's my witness. Love you the stretch marks in the quarantine thickness. She like to climb on top of the strong and risk the stiffness.
Shawty drift from her hand to her feet. Raised in the hood, she ain't scared of the streets. Boss bitch running through it every week. Fuck with the cost bids, got it covered like a sheet. Shorty got money, cars closed, yeah, all that. Broke niggas, broke bitches, you can fall back. Shorty thick too, booty clapping like a Kardashian. With the game, boss bitch, what you call that?
Gotta have a bag of your own if you tryna snatch. She ain't no bird ass, waiting on leg to have. Nice ass crib, pretty face in a slim way. Know what you call that? Gotta have a bag of your own if you tryna snatch. She ain't no bird ass, waiting on leg to have. Nice ass crib, pretty face in a slim way. Know what you call that?
Alright. So that's the single, Boss Bitch. It's everywhere. Spotify. You got Apple Music, Google, everywhere. Anywhere that you could think of.
Facebook,
that's where it's at. Facebook.
Instagram.
Is it on TikTok yet?
TikTok.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Okay. So
YouTube. Everywhere.
I want to get to the logo, Price Boy Entertainment. That logo, I feel like I could see that on just clothing in general. So any future clothing.
Actually, yeah, we got some hoodies out, some
Okay.
shirts, 3D shirts out. Also, yeah, I mean, we taking it one step at a time. But I am, dibbling, dabbling into, the apparel. Apparel is definitely gonna be there.
Okay.
Once we get the website up and running, all the apparel will be on there.
Okay. Well, I got my Price Boy hoodie, and before we get to the last question, so I got this for everybody who's gonna come to get interviewed by me. So got the little caps. So it'll be official, legend in the making.
Oh, for sure. That's what's up. That's
you know
what's
what
up.
I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Just we,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. I can't like legend in the making. That was something me and one of my homeboys, we came up with. But I was the only person who kind of stuck with it. So I say, you know what? That's why you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I like that.
So it'd be a legend in the making. So our last question here is basically for anybody that's like an aspiring artist, You know, rather be R&B, whatever you're doing, producers, songwriters, etc. So for them, like, what's some words of encouragement that you have for them? You know, especially when they're looking to embark in the same lane, but maybe a different journey.
I would say just be consistent. You know, always follow your first mind. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you can't do it or you too old to do this. And that's one thing, you know, as far as like with our, you know, with hip hop, they always say, oh well, such and such, they too old. This is that. And it's like you never too old because, I mean, music is not the same as sports. So say for instance, like we don't say the Rolling Stones is too old to tour. We don't say Kiss is too old to tour. We don't say Earth, Wind, and Fire is too old to tour. Yeah. You know, Charlie Wilson is too old to make songs. It's not. Charlie Wilson's still making hits. So why is it with hip hop? You know, when you get a certain age, it's like, oh, he too old. This is that. No, you only get better. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, your lyric game. You know what I'm saying? You only get better. You know, so that's one thing. You know, like we gotta out that, you know, like that thinking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, everything that's being played on the radio is, you know, particularly, you know, target for the young generation because the radio, that's what it's for. But it's also a lane for, you know, older artists, you know, to make it. I mean, you know, like that's one of the things, like, you know, the misconceptions that just irks me, you know. But I would just tell them, you know, like, keep following your dream. You know, don't give up. Don't sit back and say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna wait till this is that." No, you can't. And this just with anything in life. You can't just sit back and say, "Well, I'm gonna wait till the 1st of January to start doing this." No, what's wrong with doing it now? You know, to get the ball rolling. You know, you don't, because what's gonna happen on January 1st? You're gonna be like, "Oh, well, I'll wait till February 1st."
Yeah.
And you're just gonna keep putting off because things is always gonna come up in life. Life is never going to be perfect. You're always going to have obstacles, monkey wrenches thrown in your way. So it's never going to be the right time or the perfect time to do it. It's just you got to get up and do it and make an effort. And once you lay that one brick down for that foundation, and then you build another and build another, you got to take baby steps to get to where you want to get, you know.
And just coming to tell y'all that don't matter how old you are, because, for instance, look up a song, Mount Westmore. You got Ice Cube, E40, Snoop, and Too Short.
Yeah.
And those are vets.
Yeah.
Even living legends in the game.
Yeah.
So never too old. And then 2 Chainz. That dude really didn't get on until he was in his 30s. Yeah. So it takes some time, but...
And the same thing with, you know, Benny and Conway. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys, you know what I'm saying? And they spitting... Oh my God, to the, you know, lyrically on the highest level. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, these guys is known all around the world. They're just not known in the United States. These guys is touring the globe, you know?
Oh,
so it's definitely a way and it's definitely a lane, you know what I'm saying? So never let nobody tell you, oh, you too old to do it. Like, no, you know.
And you just first and foremost gotta take a leap of faith. You can't be scared. You just gotta jump.
Exactly.
Because your only holdback is yourself. Exactly. I mean, you can't expect anybody to do something for you. Believe in yourself. You got to go ahead and do it first. So that's what, you know, I feel the same way. So that definitely, y'all take those words and live them and do your thing. So other than that, you know, we definitely glad to have you here. And this is Legends in the Making's first, you know, video. Gonna be our first segment. So we're glad to, you know, have you be able to talk about the new single, Boss Bitch, Go Get It. It's everywhere. You got a phone right now, type that in. I'll put the QR code on the page, everything. You can go ahead and check it out. But definitely appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me, you know what I'm saying?
No problem at all.
Appreciate it, you know. And I want to give a shout out to, you know, F.A. Trill, OGN, Keyboard Guala, Mo Master, G.B.III, Quick Tunes for lacing us with the track. You know what I'm saying? My son Pootie Price. that's who's on the logo. You know what I'm saying? Just my fam. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, my kids. So, and all the fans out there, like, for sure, support us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got something. We got more coming. You know, we got other things coming. That's, you know, it's not gonna be like, you know, the club scene. You know, we're gonna get more into depth. You know, show our lyrical side. You know, a little bit more. So just be on the lookout. Price Boy Entertainment. I mean, we here. You know what I'm saying?
Then, you know, before we get out of here, let them know where to find, you know, you, or where to find. Do you have a page for Price Boy Entertainment yet, or?
Yeah, you can find me on, you know, IG at Mark Price 313, Facebook Mark Price. Also, I have a YouTube page. Was it Price Boy Entertainment? You can find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, I was just looking to the on my IG page, and you'll find everything, all the info. You know, booking. You know, you can DM me or catch me on, you know, or actually email me. Price Boy Entertainment, Price Boy Entertainment at yahoo.com.
Alright. Well, y'all heard that. They got something coming, so we're going to look out for Price Boy when we had a next project or next single dropping. Definitely going to have him here for y'all. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. It's G.B.III, and y'all already know what I do. Light 'em up.
For sure. Holla.